Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Cosmoteer. I have, in between episodes, done a bunch of mining. So I finally clicked in. I think this ring over here basically represents the position of an asteroid belt. So I just ran around it and did a bunch of mining, a bunch of conversions, some selling. I bought a bunch of blueprints. We've got some money in the bank, hopefully enough to do what I want to do next, which is go back to a big military grade ship, clear out a few more things over here, and do our first hyperspace jump and leave this sector to go to somewhere with some higher danger once we've confirmed that our ship is awesome. So we're going to go and do a bunch of building. In fact, this whole episode might just be us interacting with the blueprint system. It's entirely possible. We're going to go build over here. We're going to flip over to blueprint screen. We are going to clear the current blueprint and start from scratch. One of the things I want to do with this one is I do want to base this ship around the ion beams along with these ion prisms. So we're going to see what we can do with that. How are we going to start? Well, the other thing I want to do is I want to make sure we've got one of the large shield generators. So I think I'm going to plop this down, and it has kind of a no build area right in front of it. Although I think we could wrap around and put armor in front. But I think the big thing for us here is going to be with these ion beams. So the ion beams shoot straight forward by default. I might put it right here and here, but you can put ion prisms in front, which these things will steer the beam. So ion beams shoot straight directly forward with no ability to aim. The ion prisms do aim. And the other thing you can do is you can combine them. Annoyingly, this is going to be slightly off center, which of course we all hate. But if we do this, we can aim these two ion prisms to this one and have one giant beam. Apparently, it says you do lose power if you keep merging more. I don't know if you lose power from two merge beams, but it still makes it into one very powerful one that's going to be good for piercing. So that's what you're going to use as the base of the design. Now, I did a tiny bit of test, and it looks like if you do put armor in here, these prisms won't be able to work. So what we need to do is just use some structure here so that these things aren't, disconnected and hanging in space. Actually, that doesn't actually reach there because that doesn't connect to anything there. We kind of need to... These are now connected, and then if we pull back this way, there you go. No more blinking red. We'll do this for some redundant connections. Actually, it's probably not a bad idea maybe to have some spare overlapping structure over here. Maybe not that one. There we go. Just to make sure that these things stick together. And I guess I can even make it look a little nicer. It's a little bit unnecessary. On the other hand, while these things aren't armor, they might be able to absorb a couple of love taps here and there. Now, we do have this giant mega shield, which is great. Of course, it could go down. It could also be disrupted, which is really going to be the thing I'm concerned about here. I'm thinking of adding in, just like with our previous combat design, some extra shielding for some overlap. Okay, I think this outer prism might be exposed. If we go and do this and this, we've got kind of a cool shipfront building at this point. And the important thing is these inner shields will protect the main shield generator, as well as the actual ion things. If this one outer prism goes down, I think it's okay, because then I think we'd have just two independently targeting mini beams. This might be a fine place for us to slap a little bit of armor down, though, right in front of these extra shield generators, just to soak a little bit of stuff. Arguably, I could also imagine putting another layer of armor even behind this, although we do need a corridor to go in there, but we could do a mix of various things. Anyway, I think that's going to be the front. Well, there'll be more guns as well. I mean, there'll be the ion beam. We should at least also plan our own disruptor cannons to be able to take down enemy shields. I'm tempted to also... Do we also put in some lasers? I don't know. I think this is going to be quite a wide ship. But let's say we go and do this and this. Then we got a couple of disruptors to knock down enemy shields. The giant ion beam over here. Hopefully the damage of this is really good. I mean, the disruptors also do some damage. Not much, but they do some. We could also plan some forward-facing point defense. Actually, what if I... Oh no, we need to be able to reach this. It might not be a terrible idea. I think I'm going to assume in my design, I'm going to have a big corridor back here to access all these things. Okay, what else? Again, I think it's going to be a fairly wide ship, although I'd like to keep it within the width of the big shields. If we can keep it within the width of the small shield, that'd be really nice, but I don't know how valuable that will be. Let's assume... Now, there's also the bridge for the really big, 1,000 control point. I don't know if we'll need that. But the control room, Let's put it in here. I'm going to put hallways that go on both sides over here as well. And then I think my power generation. I do have access to large reactor. I don't know if we're going to need it. We'll take a look what these bars are. I like the corridors because I think they can move faster. And then let's say we attach to the side of this a pair of these engine rooms, which serve as the one place where we dump power for any engines that are attached to this. And then I'm wondering about, this is going to be a fairly heavy ship. I'm wondering about twin large engines going backwards. Maybe twin regular thrusters going like this. Small thrusters. If I do this, I can't put anything else over here. I mean, we could just do more standard thrusters this way. Or... oh, okay. How about we do this? And also put in the standard thrusters for lateral motion. Now, what I don't like is we don't have any armor here, and I can't build in any of these places. Unless I go into a big, wide structure. Now, there's a good chance our enemies, I think, tend to target the reactors by default. They could also consider the cockpit. Now, assuming we're forward-facing, then we're going to be fine. Hell, I could mount sideways shields to cover the flanks. Back here, well, what are we missing? There's a few more utility stuff that I definitely want. Oh, and we don't have our crew quarters yet either. I don't know how many we'll need. Suggesting 39 as is. So this would have a cap of 48. Actually, I think what we do is we move it back a little bit, just to maintain sort of corridor stuff. And I'm going to want a manipulator beam. That's proven to be very useful. Sensors are quite large. We might build them, but I was thinking of keeping a hallway over here. And central fire extinguisher. We might want multiple fire extinguishers, but we can do this and an airlock hatch. Let's keep going with the hallways. And then storage. Again, I might... oh, okay, here's what I propose. I actually am going to replace this like this. Simply so that we can put some armor plating down over here. Oops. Go like that. And maybe around the back as well. Okay, well, let's make it look like it's got a little tail. For anything trying to go straight up the back here. So... a little bit of cargo. Engines over here. Plenty of crew. I've got a manipulator beam. Which might not be required, but it's pretty handy. Oh, what about the hyperdrive? We'll put the hyperdrive there and maybe do smaller storage. I mean, this is actually still fairly big. There's room for other things back here. Or I could just add more armor. Hey, what I'm going to do. I'm not going to worry about it. What about the doors? Well, we don't need this or this. We'll keep one door back. Well, no, we don't even need to access this area at all. Well, maybe repairs, something. Fire extinguishers. I don't know. I'm wondering about just putting an armor. Just because doors do cost resources. So if we don't need them, let's not use them. Actually, this might be just a fine place for another storage back here. You know what? I think that is actually a good way to go. Okay. And then those doors are fun, and here's okay. And then from the crew, we go there. I don't think we need this one. I'm going to center this door up. The idea is from the crew quarter into the power room, and then that feeds into this over here. And we might still need crew access to these things to repair, because I think the power just gets dumped to this. I don't think I need this door. We might keep a flank on both sides of the cockpit, so that seems okay. And then I don't know that we need all these doors cross-connecting these, which were put down because I built these before we had the hallway over here. And let's align the power. What's going on here? There it is. Align the power to the cockpit. And then over here like this. Deliver power. We didn't have the doors going to the shields anymore. How do we feel about this kind of thing? Well, I guess we'll have to take it out for a test drive and see how it goes. Let's do a save. Actually, you'll see that I had done a little ion test just to try to understand how the mechanics work. Well, I guess this is the Flying Sprout Mark III. I know there's no Mark II. Oh, no, there's a Mark II saved over there. I'm going to call it Mark III. Really, it is a pretty substantial change, but I like the name Flying Sprout. Okay, let's make this so and see how this ends up feeling. We had some material. Of course, a bunch gets recycled, but we are going to be buying some more things from the station. I suspect we'll discover that we've missed something incredibly important. Oh, and actually, so how are we doing? Suggested power 6.3, which is more. Suggested crew. We'll probably want to hire more. Hyperdrive efficiency. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. So we didn't see this before. Only 50%. Presumably, I mean, some Hyperium. Oh, really? Okay. That's something we buy ahead of time. Presumably what we need here is more hyperdriving. More hyperdrive. There's a bigger one I can get. The other thing I can do is just slap a second hyperdrive back here, which I think is exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to lose that storage, but that's probably okay. I don't think I don't know. I actually see us adding some more storage. Maybe we will make this bigger. I'm going to go and do this. And then we'll go back into the armor stuff over here. And yeah, I still like the idea of putting a little tail on here. I don't know why. Suppose I could make it... no, we'll leave it chunky like this. Okay. Let's do this. Get the second hyperdrive. Efficiency 97%. All right. Everyone's done. Everyone's good. We still have some extra bits we could sell for some extra cash. But I'm going to do a quick save. And we need to find something to engage. Or we could... I wonder if I can just test fire this against an asteroid. Oh, okay. Hold on. There's a few more things I need to do. We need to tell this prism to aim at there, and this prism needs to be told to aim there. So they're going to be locked on there, and this prism here, knock back the speed, this one should do our aiming for us. So, can I tell you, attack this asteroid? Okay, there we are. So, weapons work. I think the short-range weapon there are the disruptors. Because the ion beam actually has fantastic range. Alright, well that's working. Oh, I didn't actually max out the crew, did I? I'm really concerned about our lack of armor. We've got these very vulnerable modules on the side that may backfire on us. Let me come back over here. We'll fill up our crew to the max. We will try to go and attack something. We'll do a quick save before we do, because what if something goes wrong? We're not playing roguelike over here. It's going to be fine. Let's communicate to the station. I may as well sell the cargo we've got as well. Because in theory, if we're going to win some battles here, we're going to make some money out of this. Initiate trade. Are we done? Nope, we're still doing the EVAs. Okay, now we're done. So, let's head over here, where I know there's some bad guys. What's our top speed? 80's not too bad. Not mega speedy. We're not going to be catching anyone who's trying to run away necessarily. All right, there's our first blip. I might actually want a sensor thing here so we can see things further. Are you just parked there? Oh, it's a pirate base that we've got to destroy. I see. Well, actually, let's see if we can engage these ships first without also dealing with the pirate base. Go nice and wide. Okay, now close in on this. Let's see what one ion beam does. All right, we got vision. We'll target this thing. And yeah, if I want to choose an engagement distance, I mean, kind of this. It's at the edge of our vision. It's at the edge of our disruptor beams. There we go. We'll do this. I will save this as a attack default. But in theory, I was going to say the ion beam should start early, and it does. Okay, well, that guy melted. Now, we did take some... Oh! I was going to say we took some damage. Well, we're being engaged from the side here, so that's not going to help. Yeah, we don't have much protection from the side, which is why I am considering some side-facing shields. That would be easier to place maybe than the armor. Okay. Set up over here. That's not mobile, so it should be fine. Pick up some stuff and use it for repairs. Yeah, so it's over here. And at the front, we might have been getting hit by some disruptor beams as well. I'm sorry, is there a gap in my shield? What? Is this being occluded by the ion beam prisms? Because that's sort of what it looks like to me, right? If you're drawing a line from sort of the center of this emission point, through this, it looks like a shadow from the ion beams. Oh. Well, that was unexpected. Cannot be projected through non-structure ship mass. Okay, there's a few things we could do with this. We could spread out our ion setup a little bit more, and even put this ion prism a little further forward. I mean, no matter what, this thing is still going to be occluded in some way, or these shields get moved forward or something. Or we don't bother at the central bit and we just have two independent little beams. Okay, they're having trouble reaching that, which is going to have to be okay. All right. Let's engage this. Assuming it doesn't have any shields, actually, all we want to do is engage at absolute maximum range. So, like, there. If it has shields, we'll have to move in further. Yeah, we're just outranging this thing. Kind of interesting. It looked like it had like spaceships just glued to the side of this, giving it a real like pirate base feel. It does have engines too, I guess, maybe for stabilizing. We move in there. Actually, I think we move forward with such gusto that we'll probably overshoot a little. I guess because we started from so far away, it was fine. Yeah, tear this stuff down. And we don't have a coil, although we might want to get one out of here to run the repairs. That's a good mission done. So, okay, this shield stuff is really interesting. Also, I think I might want some specialized crew for things. Again, if I'm harvesting stuff, I don't really want I don't really want to be engaged in combat anyway. So yeah, maybe it's fine. I may want to, if it doesn't exist already, just make sure that our manipulator beam, yeah, keep it nice and high, because we want the manipulator beam to be running while our people are getting things. Okay, so I can't pick up anything else here. I may want to just leave a map pin to remind myself. Rect station. Because I might want to pick up more over here. So that's Malala Station that we can go and turn this into. So let's do that. It's convenient. It's the close one. And then we'll go and pick up more of this stuff as well. We can definitely execute the repairs over here too. Now, hop over here, hail you, turn in this quest, and I'm also going to sell all the crap we picked up. There you go. Still have tons of cash, which is great. Might do some Googling to see what kind of design, just see images of other people's ships with these ion beams, to see what kind of layout they use. I mean, if I just didn't use the large shield, then it'd be fine. All right, we could maybe do things with more smaller shields. The other thing that would be crazy is if I'm not using the large shield and I move some things around, I could put another ion beam emitter sort of in the middle, hitting this thing directly. There you go, and we're full again. Now, I don't know if we're prioritizing, you know, the right value for things necessarily, but it is what it is. And we may as well clean all this stuff out. That's some money that's just lying around. I still have some blueprints to buy, and they're quite expensive. Boom. Boom. Oh yeah, I can do the over here. Sell surplus. Which should be everything. Go, bunch more cash. Head out again. Grab all that ammo. Now, for all I know, the ammo is just not that valuable and it takes up lots of space, which is why it's been such a low priority, but we'll do at least this one more pass for goodies. Yeah, we're grabbing just raw resources now, so I suspect the high money stuff is probably gone. Although we'll see how much money this trip gives us. It might still be worth doing all this. But yeah, I want to go and hit some more of these little missions here before we leave. I guess I could also use the hyperdrive to head back over here. Maybe we should play around with that. Surplus. Why is there buy needed? Do we need fuel for these things? I don't remember seeing that before. Hold on. If I do that, come over here. Buy needed. Okay. Okay. The Hyperium is, we do need it for the jump drives. We can also mine it. Okay. So is that being delivered to these? Oh, maybe. Is that what these lit areas are? I wonder if that's just enough for one jump. So we may actually want to go and mine Hyperium asteroids when we see them. I'm curious to see. I'm going to do that because I want to see where they get stored up. They seem to be fairly plentiful, which makes sense if it is required for things. Okay, it's like right here. All right, Hyperium. Oh, I can't. Oh, I've already gone and just grabbed this stuff. I wonder. I know I don't have a mining laser. Oh my god, I didn't realize we'd shoot it away. No, I think it just destroyed it. All right. But yeah, if we found one of those that hadn't been mined out. Okay, that is there. There's an enemy nearby, but let's get a little closer here because we're collecting some of this stuff. I want to see if they go in our cargo pods or if they get installed into our hyperdrives. Okay, they get delivered to the cargo pod first, but they do get installed in hyperdrive. Okay. Hello, Crown. I'm going to turn to engage you immediately. Yeah, see, we are taking damage. I mean, our large shield is still having an effect. But nowhere near as much as I might like. So there's going to have to be a redesign. Yeah. I think what's going to happen between episodes, I'll do some Googling for images of people's layouts. I'm curious to see what they're doing. And again, we don't have the hyper coil available. Or that may have been a regular coil, but still. It's not like the cheapest thing to constantly repair. Halt the amount there. Yeah, people working the engine rooms. And yeah, it clearly pays out quite nicely to have a little bit more of this. Keep these fully charged. Let's do our first hyper jump, even like within the system. So, hyper jump. We can jump to any of the hyper jump stations we've detected, as well as the space stations. And in addition to that, I know we can add a hyper jump station module to our own ships so that we can jump from one ship to another. Or, you know, maybe turn into, like, if we make our own station, and that's how we do that. Sell surplus. Initiate trade. There we go. And it won't sell the Hyperium that's in these. I was going to say, is it selling any excess? It's hard to tell. I don't think so. I think the ones that are installed in here, they didn't go and pull out. All right. We've got tons of money. There is definitely a big question mark over here for what we do for the shields. And I am just wondering if the large shield and the prism setup just really doesn't interact well with one another. If all we did, I guess we could test this and see. If I just went into remove mode and remove this. Right? Now, we still get some occlusion on the big shields here and here. But the main center is empty. And now we got the twin beams, which are no longer targeting anything explicitly. I'm gonna get Pack Bounty. Let's head over here. And see how it feels with just the twin beams. And then we'll wrap up the episode, and then I'll go and do some looking up and trying to figure out what other people do with this kind of setup. The twin ion beams might feel really good. Oh, hello, unknown contact. And I do think I'd like a sensor module. I think I'd like a little bit more vision. I wonder if there's a little base here. We might see more than one blip as we get closer. Hello, Sentinel. Just target your reactor core, that's fine. Okay, I don't have any point defense, which I might want to be able to shoot down missiles, especially since some of them can do some flanking stuff. We're hitting this chunk over here, which isn't ideal. There we go. Oh, still a missile coming. But as long as they hit from the front, then it's not so bad. We did take some damage again, yeah, over here, which might have been a missile hit. And that's expensive. All right, I think there's going to be some back to the drawing board stuff over here. I wonder if we can tuck the engines a little further back. The problem is this no-go zone over here. What will we do? But I like our offense. That's great. That's definitely working well. No complaints there. Boop, 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 boop. Vacuum all that up. Looking good. All right, so yeah, we'll put the cut in here. We'll save this. I mean, we can clearly handle everything that's in this system, although it's costing us a little bit more money than it should because of having to do the repairs. I could move this out, but no, then the power. I could do the thing where we build a big ring of armor around it. Or again, just a bunch of some sort of shield modules. Like, if you look here, obviously, we have to change some things for the reactor. But this would protect our engines. There's a little gap over here, but it's not very meaningful. That might be the best way to do things. Oh well, we'll figure out next time. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.